Wishing everybody a happy Diwali. Today is a festival in India for all the Hindus and to many of the sects involved. And also wishing all the children a happy Children's Day. 14th November is Children's Day. Claude Monet, born on 14th November 1840 in Paris, France, died on 5th December 1926 in Giverny in France. Claude Monet said, "The richness I achieve comes from nature, the source of my inspiration." And that's what Diwali talks about. Diwali is Indian festival of lights, usually lasting 5 days, and celebrated during the Hindu lunisolar month of Kartika, between mid-October and mid-November. One of the most popular festivals of Hinduism, Diwali symbolizes the spiritual victory of lights over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Oscar Claude Monet was a French painter, a founder of the French Impressionist painting, and the most consistent and prolific practitioner of the movement's philosophy of expressing one's perceptions before nature, especially as applied to plain air landscape painting. The term Impressionism is derived from the title of his painting, Impression Soleil Levant, Impression Sunrise, which was exhibited in 1874 in the first of the independent exhibitions mounted by Monet and his associates as an alternative to the Salon de Paris. Monet's ambition of documenting the French countryside led him to adopt a method of painting the same scene many times in order to capture the changing of light and the passing of the seasons. From 1883, Monet lived in Giverny, where he purchased a house and property and began a vast landscaping project which included lily ponds that would become the subject of his best-known works. He began painting the water lilies in 1899, first in vertical views with a Japanese bridge as a central feature, and later in the series of large-scale paintings that was to occupy him continuously for the next 20 years of his life. Claude Monet said, "The richness I achieve comes from nature, the source of my inspiration." The richness, the love relationship, the divine relationship, the spiritual relationship, the spirit, the energy and the power is the richness I achieve comes from nature, and that can come only from nature. And nature is children, and today is the Children's Day. And nature is Diwali, the season of the lights. From darkness to light, the nature shows you the beauty of the light. Light is nothing but love. Light is nothing but your parents. Love is nothing but your joint family. And nature comes and gives you the family tree. Richness actually comes from nature, the source of my inspiration, said Claude Monet. That is the source of everybody's inspiration. Yes, the inspiration of coming very close to the nature. When you are in love with the nature, that's what all the time I've been trying to tell. Just go. Even J.D. Krishnamurti kept on telling, when one loses the deep, intimate relationship with nature, then temples, masjids, churches, backstabbing, and all the lies and the hospitals becomes very important. When you are in deep, intimate relation, when you are in deeply, intimately related to nature, then love, joint family, energy, power, Diwali, children, is become a way of life. Claude Monet's richness I achieve comes from nature. Yes, that is what I was talking about. It comes from, if you do not love your nature, especially the sun, if you cannot believe that the sun, and if you cannot look at the sun, and if you cannot do Surya Namaskar, you have lost the base, you have lost the foundation. And Claude Monet from France understood that the Surya Namaskar is very important. Achieve comes from the richness, achieve comes from nature's source of my inspiration is the light. Source of inspiration, Diwali, source of inspiration is the child. You look at the child, the sun, when it rises is a child. When the sun rises, it is Diwali. And you look at Diwali, you look at the child, the children's day, and you stretch it up. Do 108 Surya Namaskar. The Diwali. Eventually my eyes were opened and I really understood nature's. I learned to love at the same time. Eventually my eyes were opened. Yes, when you are deep in love with nature, when you do the first Surya, eyes open, because the first Surya, if you understand the rain and the wind and the earth, heaven and the earth, everything, you keep loving. He said, look at Claude Monet. So eventually my eyes opened and I really understood nature. Yes, first time I understood. I learned to love at the same time. Love happens. Have the deep intimate relationship with your wife and your husband and the children and your family and your joint family and the family tree. It opens up its own. You do not have to do something special. That's what the Indian festival is telling. Diwali symbolizes spiritual victory of light. Spiritual victory of light over darkness. Over darkness, yes. It's a 5 days festival. 5 days festival. Darkness. Over darkness, good over evil and knowledge over good over evil. Good over evil and knowledge over ignorance. The 5 days of the festival, everybody's a holiday. So all the Hindus are asked to rush up to the house. Which house? Not to their house. Which house? Not to the joint family. Which house? To the family tree. That is the time they all rush. Otherwise, every time we have a call to the family, to your wife, your children, to joint family, to your relatives. But this is the day, Krishna said, this is the day Rama wanted, this is the way the Hindu Samskriti wanted. The very first day, everybody rushes up to the family tree they have created. Yes, that family tree should stay for 10,000 years or 100,000, but that property and the land and the tree, nobody touches. They rush at the very first day to that land, and they look at the Surya Namaskar, they look at the Surya, they look at the sun goddess early morning, and the family tree people are already created. They are very strong, the people working in the family. So they do 108 Surya Namaskar. So the people and the family people of people who rushes up to that family tree, to the family tree land, they all early morning they must get up and look before the sunrise. They themselves clean the whole family tree house and they light the lamp, and then they open up the body, they look at the Surya and do the Surya, 108 Surya Namaskar. You count. This year I was not been able to 108, I did 8, I did 10. So every year you improve on it. The moment you do 108 Surya Namaskar, then the family tree will rush us up to find out whether that property of the family tree has got solar. Every part of the solar, the deep intimate relationship with your wife is the deep intimate relationship with the sun goddess, with the Surya Namaskar. When you have the deep intimate relationship with the sun and the Surya Namaskar, you understand solar. So you make sure not a single electricity has been used, only solar. Everything including the cooking and the borewell water, pulling up, everything is solar, and you understand that is the one day you spend. And the people of that family tree and all the temples and the ashrams surrounding 1 kilometer or 10 kilometers, they make sure the very first day they pull in as many funds as possible. Planning strategy goes one year ahead, and on that day they find out this year how many solar we have been able to put up in this 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers surrounding the surrounding the family tree and the temples and the masjid and the churches and ashrams. Yes. And you can see that is the light that they are going to burn it from Kathalinda Balakinadige, from darkness to the Tamasoma, Jyotir, and that is the victory signal of lighting the lamp on that Diwali. Claude Monet said, everyone discusses my heart and pretends to understand as if it were necessary. As if it was necessary to understand. When it is simply necessary to love, that is, you do not have to understand. Just love the sun, just love the solar, and make sure how to make solar. So when you go back, your houses, wherever you're going, have got the solar. And the second day of the Diwali, he said, second day of the Diwali, Claude Monet also felt it. Second day of the Diwali, you fall in love when you understood the sun goddess. The second day will be only trying to rush up to the staying in the family tree house. You make sure rainwater harvesting. How much rainwater you will be able to collect that year, so that they have a record in the family tree. They have a record in the ashram, in the temple, in the churches, in the masjid, all the spiritual places. They have a record. Better than last year, we were able to collect more rainwater and save the rainwater and convert the rainwater into the ponds, into the borewell, into the well, and how we created the drip irrigation, like the Israelis drip irrigation, dripped it up beautifully. Then they understood rainwater harvesting, and once they understand rainwater harvesting, that one day just spent to create landscaping. They create pedicure and manicure. So they are working very hard, very hard. Whole family will be working with on second. When they work very, very hard, you are in deep, intimate relationship with the land of the family tree, of the ashram and the temple, whatever it is. And then you make sure 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, how much are you able to landscape, pedicure and manicure, and create one of the best pedicure and manicure Japanese Zen pond, Koika pond, or Japanese Zen pond, whatever. You create such a beautiful pond, and you create such a beautiful lake, or organic, original, natural lake, where everybody that day, everybody, all the family members jump and they prove how they can swim, do scuba diving, and all is only playing with the water is second day, but cleanliness next to godliness. And you made the first love with your water. And on the third day, you are with the wind energy, how much windmill were you been able to create, and this year how much wind came, from what directions came. You discuss only about the wind. Yes, you discuss only about the wind on the third day. And Claude Monet, everyone discusses my art and pretends to understand. So when you discuss, make sure pretends to understand, as if it was necessary to understand, when it's simply necessary to love. So your duty is only to love. When you do this 3 days I'm talking, when you're doing this work, you should be Mauna Vrita. You are not opening your mouth at all. And on the fourth day, it is only Samskriti. You're talking only about Samskriti. You're talking about the Carnatic music or Hindustani music, about Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, whatever. Dance, and the song, and the painting, and the poetry, and the literature, all that is the competition that you are expressing everything on that particular day. And on the fifth day, the celebration of all the things what happened, you give them trophies, you give them certificates, and you learn how to make the best food on the fifth day. You all join together to make your traditional food, which was healthy. Let thy food be thy medicine. You become a doctor, you understand the medicine value of that cooking also. That is the 5 days of Diwali. They said, then victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance is what Diwali talks. And that was the deep love relationship. Claude Monet said, everyone discusses my art and pretends wants to understand, as if it was necessary to understand, when it's simply necessary to love. Just love. That is the love of Diwali. If you can convert Diwali, which is the traditional method, what Krishna has rightly said from his mouth, people have forgotten. They interpret in different way. I am putting it in real. This is a gospel of truth, which came directly from the God of the Hindus. Please make sure if this is done it, there is no poverty. Together we can wipe out more tears and bring down happiness, bring down hunger. Whenever we can bring down hunger, we can bring up and we can create happiness and light all around. Claude Monet said, the richness I achieve comes from nature, the source of my inspiration. Diwali is India's festival of lights, usually lasting 5 days, and celebrated during the Hindus' lunisolar month Kartika between mid-October and mid-November. One of the most popular festivals of Hinduism, Diwali symbolizes spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Wishing you all a happy Diwali and all my loving children a happy Children's Day. This is my 241st small talks. Love talks to you.